How's it going, guys? I'm back at it with the hardest fucking GeoGuessr challenge that there is. Trying to no move every country. Now, this one we had a torturous one. Brazil, get fucked. I hate you. Sorry for my foul language, I'm Australian, get used to it. This country was not fun. I do not recommend doing this unless you are sick in the head, okay? I'll try not to rant about it too much, but I'll just get started with the rounds. Yeah. If I talk about my frustrations, I'll be in big trouble. I don't want to be in big trouble. Okay, round one, got the nice phone code there. Got a roundabout with some place names. Very helpful as always. Yeah, you can see the towns are to the south. I take a bit of a look around in the wrong places. Find it, find the roundabout, line it up, pretty nice. Phone code's always helpful. Lots of shitty little towns, especially Brazil. Hard to know them all, but phone codes nail it down. This one, pretty handy dandy. As you can see, plants almost ruined my view of this one, but if you know Brazilian cities at all, you can see that the second word on that sign said Alegre, which should only be Porto Alegre. So then also always handy when you get some nice landmarks like this big fat bridge behind us, so have a look for that one. Yeah, the trick is with these ones is that you never know how close to Porto Alegre you are. However, when the bridge is this massive, you'd have to think you're probably somewhat close to the city. If it was a small little tiny thing, you might be in a bit of strife, but I find this one pretty quick because it's pretty easy to line up with. Yeah, the signs were a bit frustrating on this one. I don't know if the locations for these countries are handpicked. If they are, whoever did Brazil is a sadistic motherfucker. He purposefully chose to make every single little fucking sign just out of reach, just behind a bush, so if you are stupid enough like me to try and play this and do this challenge, have fun not getting tilted. You can tell I'm tilted, and this is months after I completed it, so yeah. Get the nice little line up there, not much to it. From here on out, the rounds get nigh on impossible. Lots of time spent on it. I'll end up speeding up a lot of what's left because I don't think you want me raging about it non-stop for 30 minutes while I scan. So here on this one, what we've got to go off is that street sign which said something along the lines of Arico or whatever. Barely comes up on the map, no surprise there. But my big mistake that took me a while on this one is I thought if you look in the top right of this sign I'm looking at, I thought that was the place name there that I'm circling. I thought that was the place name. It's got nothing to do with it. So a lot of this sped up footage will be me looking for that place in the south of Brazil. Yeah, turns out it was not there. It was another part of the sign which actually says Curitiba. as you can see, I finally realized that it said prefeitura. I'm gonna botch the pronunciation of that one, but it says Curitiba, so I figured that out. Then once again, I thought the bit to the right might be like a suburb. I was wrong. Again, I spend a long, and it's also extremely hard to read, as you can tell. I thought it might have said like Sinuta or something like that, but yeah, I spent a long time scanning. Also, if you pay attention to my west, you can see it looks like there's a double road with a gap in the middle. That is not the case at all, but I spent a lot of time trying to find something that matched that on the map, which it does not. So. So you can see I finally found the Ilico Jose or whatever it says with the side roads and stuff, and it matches up well, even though I didn't have the double side road to the west there. Also, there was a river there, which I guess you could kind of tell. I could tell there was the hill there, and they were mainly on the western side, so I mainly search west. Just things like that can help to try and narrow it down. Here you can see there's a bit of a delay on starting the next round because I was praying basically that I'd get something. Immediately, I feel like I kind of recognize this round. Then when I saw that big hill, I have seen that before, and I personally, just from playing so many rounds, I knew it was Rio. I mean, you can kind of tell it's Rio if you played Brazil a little bit, but I was pretty confident on the exact rock it was. Rock, mountain, whatever you want to call it. And once again, you can see the importance of phone codes there. If you want to be good at Brazil, you got to learn the phone codes. It's as simple as that. Other stuff can help. Obviously, if you get rural rounds, obviously it's not that big a help, but you can still get them rurally. If you want to be good, learn your phone codes on this country. Anyway, the main thing I was looking for here, Sinai, obviously is a street name, which I could not find. And then if you can't find street names, obviously trying to find the hill is a bit tricky based off the way the map works, but I thought it was in this part over to the east near Niterói. Obviously the mountain / rock, whatever you want to call it, is to the northeast, which makes you think, as I've circled it there, makes you think you'll be on the east side because that's where the mountains are. At some point I do scan over to the west, but it does turn out to be on this side. I must scan over the road about 40 different times because the other thing you want to look for is the business names. If you can find anything with a business name that you think will stand out, like obviously there's a gas station here which can be helpful, but as it turns out, if you saw, then I barely saw one. But it didn't really have a name and it barely showed up on the map, so whatever. I eventually find this place just through a lot of scanning, which you will be able to see. as you can see, I finally found the gas station with the right side road, and it says that thing behind me, which is garden mess or whatever, the self-storage unit, whatever it is. So we get that one, and this is actually that was actually my only round 4 that I got. I have not gotten to a round 5 yet at this point, even after 5,600 attempts. I'd only been on 5 round 3s and gotten 5 round 4s, sorry, and gotten 0 of them. So this is my first round 5, and it also turns out to be my first and only definitely only completion of Brazil. So devastation hits. I'm raging. It's another shit Brazil round with no info. I'm certain of it. I look around, and there happens to be the most beautiful CEP sign of all time. CEP codes, not phone codes, are also helpful. I know the CEP code 74 there is Guyana, and I know the Jardim. I can't quite tell what it says. I'm trying to make out the letters, as you can tell there. I think it says Kapuli or something like that. Turns out not to be that, so I spend, once again, a long time searching for it. But this bit on the sign that says Jardim, it's often like a suburb or whatever you want to call it of town. So I look for that for a while, and I'll eventually find that. At a certain point, I realized the first 2 letters might not be a K and actually make an IT, and as you can see, it's Itapua, whatever you want to call it. And then I can see it says E and whatever the other one said, Pedro Vico, I think it said. Pedro Ludovico, as you can maybe see on the screen there, just above the river, which I see. At this point, I'm trying to hold my nerve and not just insta-send it, even though I know I've finally completed the country. And there we go, it is done. This country, which is lovely, I'm sure, not for GeoGuessr, is finally over and done with. I played 5,624 rounds. I'll put this in the description if anyone cares, or in the comments. Out of those 5,600, 5,330 were zeros. 257 times I got around 1. 23 times I got 2 5Ks, and then only 5 times I got the 3, and then the 1 time I got this run. So on my list so far, I'd probably put it at this point the hardest. As you can see, I'm a bit ecstatic because it's finally fucking over. You can see in the bottom left the times I spent trying to get each round. Thanks for watching. If anyone has any tips or whatever, feel free to share. If you have any feedback, let me know. And